Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of Burn Your Boat's Wealth. Today, I'm doing a timely 10, and so it's just me flying solo today. David and I are really trying to bring more value, more content through these shorter snippets so we can kind of give you an idea to think about and get out. Plus, it enables David and I, we like to hear ourselves talk, so it enables us to talk more, right? So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe it's just an enabler, but here I am. So we appreciate you joining us today. I want to talk about something that is a super hot button topic in this climate right now. It's very difficult. Ever since 2022, interest rates have gone up. It's made creating wealth through real estate much more difficult because it's hard to buy something right now and have it cash flow, right? It's hard to even get your mortgage paid for. So people have gotten very creative. They're doing Airbnbs, they're doing rent by the room, they're knocking down one structure and building two on the same piece of dirt. But that creates a lot of friction. That creates business models that maybe weren't meant for that type of application. So, let's say that you're renting by the room, you have a 4-bedroom. Well, now you may have 4 different cars in the driveway and the neighbors don't like that. And you're kind of running like a little mini hotel in the middle of suburban America, and that causes issues. So interest rates are the thing that have started all of this. It's made it very challenging. But today, I hear this all the time, is I want to buy rental properties because I want to make cash flow. Why do they want to make cash flow? Because I want to be able to get to a point where I hear this all the time. I want to be able to make $10,000 a month so I can replace my W-2 income. Okay. That is a complete myth. I have yet to talk to one person that has ever created $10,000 worth of cash flow a month and quit their job and they just ran their 9 rentals or 18 rentals that they have. I've yet to talk to one person that has actually done that. And here's the reason why, okay, is that if you're looking at today's circumstances, today's bills, today's expenses, today's lifestyle, and saying, okay, I make this much today, it's going to take me 10 years to get to that quote unquote $10,000 mark. And then it's going to set me free. Well, voila, 10 years comes, you're married, you have kids, you have more expenses, you have nicer cars, you have nicer clothes, and that 10 years ago salary wouldn't cut it nowadays. So if you can imagine what you made 10 years ago, could you imagine trying to make that work in today's climate with today's inflation? So let's reframe the way that you look at cash flow, okay? I've been able to do this because I started buying rental. I bought my first property that I house hacked in 2006. I bought rentals on my own up until 2020, okay? I've got 14 years of experience buying little mom and pop rentals that range from 50K up to, let's call it 300K, all right? Here's what I've noticed about cash flow is even if it doesn't cash flow right away, I guarantee you over a 4, 5, 6-year span, rents will eventually go up. They don't go up consistently. A lot of times it doesn't go up organically. So maybe you're getting, let's say $1,200 a month for a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath in your town. And it's not going to go up to $1,300 and then $1,400 and then $1,500 upon renewal, right? Sometimes it may be $1,200. In this market, maybe you're keeping it at $1,200 on the renewal, but eventually things will change. The economic climate will change and it may go to $1,400, right? And then it may go to $1,700. And then you have COVID hit where things went crazy, right? Now we're seeing kind of the other side of the coin where things are starting to slow down, okay? So here's where I'm getting at is, number one, if you think that you're going to replace your income by organically buying rentals, you are mistaken. You're not going to do it. Not to say it hasn't happened before. I talk to tons of investors every single day. I go to meetups. I go to mastermind groups all over the country. I've yet to find someone that I met and I say, what do you do? And they say, well, I work with a laptop. I have 15 rentals and I just quit my job and, I work 3 hours a day, right? Haven't met that person yet. I would love to. I would love for me to be that person. So then the next thing was well, I want to buy some properties and I want to take that cash flow and I want to buy a nicer car, right? Maybe I want to buy a brand new car to spoil myself, but I'm not using my own money. I'm using my money that is being made on my investments, right? Fair enough. I don't like that because if you're looking to truly scale, if you're looking to truly change your life through wealth building, you're not going to do it by constantly taking the little bit of money that you're making on the cash flow and then putting it towards a liability, right? A car is not going to go up in value. A nicer car is not going to probably help you the way that you think it is other than just boosting your ego, right? The reasons that people buy investment properties for cash flow, in my opinion, aren't reality. Because once you get into them, once you start buying your 5th property, your 10th property, your 30th property, right? You change, you evolve, right? But if you've gotten to the point in your life and you're listening to this where you own 20 rental properties, you've probably delayed gratification. You probably make the income, and then when the roof goes bad, you put on the new roof, right? So I'm going to tell you how I have shifted my narrative, the way that I look at cash flow, and it's enabled me to grow, okay? It's enabled me to try new things, to try new opportunities, but it's not the way you think. So let's hop into it. So let me tell you a story. So from 2006 to 2020, I basically compiled a portfolio that consisted of about $4 million worth of assets. I owed at the time, I put almost all of them on 30-year fixed. I owed about $800,000 on that $4 million portfolio. So then I went to the bank and I said, Mr. Banker, I would like some access to a line of credit. So here's what I did. I refinanced all 18 mortgages, okay? Some of them were duplexes, some of them were single families, into one big commercial mortgage. And I basically just went from like 5% to 8%, right? So that was tough for me, but I knew that 2025 was going to have opportunities and I wanted to participate, and I can't participate with equity stuck in properties. So I knew I had to get access to a line of credit against that entire portfolio. So 800,000 is what I have on the entire portfolio as a commercial loan. However, 800,000 value 4 million. There's a lot of equity in between. So the bank gave me an $800,000 line of credit, okay? When I pull against the line, I pay interest on it. When I don't pull against it, I don't, right? So it's low risk. So with that $800,000 line of credit, here's what I've been able to do. Again, this is about cash flow. So I have been able to take the equity in the portfolio, okay? Take a line of credit against it for 800,000, right? Now, what are you going to do with it, right? Now I'm paying 8% on my fixed debt. That's not good, right? I was paying 5. So I need to use that money as best way as I can. Done a couple things with it. I took $150,000 of it and I put it down on a new build construction on a nice $2 million new build with two of my buddies that are partners in the deal, right? I've never built a 4,000 square foot house that's going to sell for $2 million. Well, I also didn't have $150K just sitting around, but now I do, right? Because I have an $800,000 line of credit. But here is where the cash flow secret comes in. It's not the fact that I borrowed this $150 against a line of credit and put it down on a new development, right? Because that's going to take 18 months from start to finish. I put the $150 down, and then 18 months later, we're hoping to, I'm probably hoping to double my money. So I'm hoping to make about one on my $150, right? But guess what? I have to pay monthly payments on that $150, right? I'm going to use round numbers and say it's 12%. That's 1% a month of $150. That's $1,500 a month of interest I have to pay on that $150,000 that I borrowed, right? Now, I am not paying that $1,500 out of my pocket. My rental portfolio is paying that $1,500. The cash flow that I am getting for 14 years worth of buying houses, dealing with tenants, not making a lot of money, things like that. But it does over time. I promise you that you will build up cash flow. Rents will go up over time, but you have to be patient. But now I have enough money to cover that $1,500 a month interest-only payment on that $150,000. Here's the idea. Technically, I borrowed against the portfolio, the $150,000, put it on a new build construction. My rental cash flow covered my interest-only payments, okay? So now what have I accomplished at the end of hopefully 18 months of a successful project? We're about 6 months in. It's yet to be seen how successful it will or won't be. But guess what? I'm getting experience, right? I get to put that on my resume. When I go talk to new lenders and they say, have you built anything? I get to show them what I've done, right? Technically, I'm not building this property. My rental portfolio is actually building this property, and then it is servicing the debt. At the end of this, let's just say it goes in. Let's say that the project finishes, and at the end of the day, we're able to sell it. I'm able to pay back the line of credit, the $150,000 plus the interest only payments. And let's say I make $100,000, $150,000, whatever it may be, right? Well, now I've built something. I participated in the deal. I've been able to not pull out of my own pocket to cover the interest only payments. And now I'm able to put that on my resume. And now guess what? Now I have more experience. Now I have more confidence to go out and do that again. Go buy another one. Maybe we build two now instead of one. So the reason for this, for me hopping on here and talking about this, is that if you're looking for cash flow from rental properties to replace your active income job where you do active things and it's stressful, thinking you're just going to be able to do non-active things and work an hour or two a day and it's going to cover all your expenses 10 years from now, you are falsely mistaken. It's just not going to happen. If you want to do that just to be able to get a cooler car or get like a slightly nicer widget that you want to buy, you're probably not going to build up any meaningful wealth through real estate because you don't have the mindset that it's going to take to really have any meaningful change in your life. In conclusion, if you can keep your head down, if you can keep growing your properties, you're going to hit the psychological bullets that David and I talk about all the time. It's going to be hard. Tenants are going to stop paying from time to time. You're going to have to put in a new AC and you're not going to get one more dime of interest from it. But all of that, right, is going to enable you over time to be able to go leverage the cash flow, okay, by taking the equity out and then taking your cash flow and covering new projects, new development, new opportunities, right? Maybe I don't know if I want to build a lot of houses, but my rental portfolio is enabling me to do it. And I don't have to change or alter my lifestyle one bit because it's all being covered. So keep that in mind is we have to take the 10,000 foot view of what you're actually looking to do. Are you looking to make meaningful changes? You know, the natural progression of a real estate investor is they'll start as a realtor or a wholesaler, then they'll start fixing and flipping. Then they kind of move into developing. They'll build one house and then maybe they go to building a small community and then keep growing from there, right? Well, this rental portfolio is enabling me to start progressing without taking huge risks because it's actually paying for itself. So hopefully this is changing your narrative, the mindset that you have as to how you view cash flow, what it's going to actually do for you, and also what it's not going to do for you. Because I'm telling you right now, my life is owning on my own. It's 2020. I stopped buying on my own. I started buying with partners. I started buying with David. I have another two partners I buy with as well. I like buying with partners. It's more fun. I like to enjoy and succeed together. It's lonely buying on your own. But I built up that portfolio on my own, and it is now enabling me to participate in new development. It's enabling me to participate in multifamily purchasing. And none of that would have been possible if it wasn't for those crappy $75,000 properties that I bought in 2013. Now the rents have doubled, okay? But there's no instant gratification. I don't drive a nicer car because I have this rental portfolio. I don't live in a nicer house because of it, but it is enabling me to take more risks. And actually, it's not that big of a financial risk. So thank you so much for listening. I hope this helped. This is something that's near and dear to my heart because I'm going through it right now. So I want you in this tough climate where it's hard to make numbers work, if you can step back and think about the bigger picture, knowing that in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you may be able to participate in opportunities you never would have dreamed of, but you've got to take that first step. You've got to keep consistently buying, just like it's habitual, just like if you want to take your reps and go to the gym. If you go to the gym one day a week, it's not going to probably change your life one bit. You have to go every day and eat healthy, and investing in real estate, growing your wealth is no different. So everyone, thank you so much for listening and putting up with my what grinds my gears, because I want you to shift your narrative as to the way that you look at cash flow, and hopefully you will do that. Thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Well, that is a wrap for today, folks. We hope that this episode shed some light on the complexities of the real estate market and kind of really gave you some actionable insights. Because remember, you navigate the world of property investment, it requires more than just luck. You're going to need strategy, you're going to need knowledge, and of course, you're going to need a little dash of courage. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave us a review on any of the podcast platforms that you listen to and YouTube as well. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Burn Your Boats Wealth, and leave comments, talk to us about things that you want us to talk about or things you disagree with us on. We appreciate all that type of insight. Your support really fuels our fire to bring you even more valuable content. So we appreciate you. We appreciate the support, and we will see you next time.
You've been listening to the Burn Your Boats Wealth podcast with Clark Lunt and David Shaw. We would love to hear from you. Please reach out at contact@burnyourboatswealth.com. burnyourboatswealth.com with comments, questions, and if you have a topic you would like Clark and David to discuss on an upcoming episode. We would very much appreciate it if you took the time to rate and review Burn Your Boats on your favorite podcast listening app, and make sure to follow and share on social media. Content in Burn Your Boats Wealth podcast is for entertainment purposes only and is not legal or financial advice. Please review our legal disclaimer at burnyourboatswealth.com. Thank you and have a great day.